Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have started our discussion with the linear differential equation with constant coefficient in the last lecture, right? We have discussed uh, a differential story and some basic preliminaries required for the differential equation. So the first basic definition of linear differential equation with constant coefficient we have discussed in the last lecture. That is, nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficient is given by this, where uh, the terms in the differential equation are like which there should not be the product of two derivatives. There should not be a product of dependent variable and its derivative, isn't it? And throughout the degree must be one. So then the given differential equation is called linear differential equation, where these a naught, an, a naught, a1, and so on up to an are the constants. That is why it is called the constant coefficient, right? The next is now we are going to solve these linear differential equations, the solution. And I've explained in the last lecture that solution of linear differential equation is the value of dependent variable involved in the differential equation in terms of independent variable. So here the independent variable is what? X, right? Independent variable क्या होता है? With respect to uh, variable जो होता है ना, that is independent variable with respect to. So here the derivative is with respect to x, so that is why independent variable is x. So the solution of this differential equation will be the value of dependent, that is y, in terms of x, that is function of x. Okay. So here the solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient is called the general solution or the complete solution, is it? Which is a combination of two sub solutions, we can say. So if y is a general solution, then that y is a combination of two sub solutions, that is y1 and y2, y1 and y2. We call it as a yc and yp. These are just notations. Yc is for complementary function and yp is for particular integer. Okay. So this is complementary function cf plus particular integral pi. This is your general solution, or it is also called complete solution. Okay. So let us proceed with the solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. Okay. So first of all, if the given differential equation is in the form of d by dx, or derivative with respect to independent variable, then first step towards the solution is the reduction in the variable capital D. So see here, let this differential operator derivative with respect to D is capital D. So when we substitute this differential operator into the given differential equation here, then this is capital D, right? So d raised to ny, d raised to ny, that is a naught into plus a1, this is, yes, d raised to n minus 1 y, plus and so on, a n minus 1 dy plus a n y is equal to function of x. We have to introduce a new variable. That is not variable actually, that is an operator. Operator with respect to, operator is the derivative with respect to x. So when we substitute this, you can see here, then differential equation becomes this. And when I take this independent variable outside the operator, then we'll get the form like this: a naught d raised to n plus a1 d raised to n minus 1 plus and so on, an minus 1 d plus an the whole times y is equal to f of x, and that is of this form. Is this clear? So this is a reduced standard form of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So if the MCQ is asked, that MCQ can be asked on the basic definition, that is standard form of linear differential equation is, and one of the option will be either this or this. This one. Is this clear? यहाँ तक clear है सबको? हेलो?
तो मतलब उसमें पूरा लिखना है, मैंने वही बोला कि मैम इतना जरूरत है,
Sir.
बहुत सारा है.
So this is called a standard form of linear differential equation with constant coefficient, where this phi of d is a polynomial in variable d. Okay, phi of d is equal to a naught d raised to n plus a1 d raised to n minus 1 plus a2 d raised to n minus 2 and so on, which is a polynomial in d. Okay, so this is the first step towards the solution of linear differential equation. Introduce an operator capital D. Okay, so sometimes the given differential equation will be already in capital D form. So in that case, we don't need to reduce further, isn't it? It is already in capital D form. So we have to proceed further with the next step. So what the next step is? Solution. Okay, so solution of differential equation. A solution of differential equation is the value of dependent variable in terms of independent variable involved in the differential equation. Camera slow. Okay, involved in the differential equation. That is what just now I have explained, that solution which is the value of dependent in terms of independent. Okay, the solution of differential equation is a function of independent variable, that is x, or it is not necessarily x, it depends on the given differential equation. It can be t or any other variable also. Solution of linear differential equation with constant coefficient is called general solution or the complete solution, and it is given by the formula dependent variable is equal to complementary function plus particular integral, CF plus PI. Okay, so we have to find separately complementary function and particular integral. So in earlier pattern, 2015 pattern, if the question is for 4 marks, then the marking scheme was either 1 plus 3 or 2 plus 2 according to the difficulty level of complementary function. Okay, now here in this 2019 pattern, I think the question will be asked on 5 marks for 5 marks, and the marking scheme will be 2 plus 3. Okay.
So can you explain this again?
See, just a minute. If the given differential equation is like this, let me explain with the example. If the given differential equation is like this, solve d2y by dx square plus 2 dy by dx plus 5y is equal to, say, sine x. Okay, this is the given differential equation, and we'll be asked to solve this. So first of all, the first step towards the solution is introduce a capital D operator here. So that capital D is what? D is derivative with respect to x. So here the derivative with respect to x is this. So when we introduce capital D operator here, it will become d square y plus 2 dy plus 5y is equal to sine x. Is this clear, the first step? Then when we take y common, y outside the operator, it becomes d square plus 2d plus 5 times y is equal to sine x. Is this clear? So that is of the form phi of d into y is equal to some function of x on the right hand side. So we are going to solve this differential equation. Its solution is called general or the complete solution. And that is the value of what? Dependent variable in terms of independent variable. So here the dependent variable is y and independent variable is x. So the solution, general solution, will be the value of y in terms of x, where that right hand side will be complementary function plus particular integral. So complementary function is also a function of x, and particular integral is also a function of x. Is this clear? So we have to find these two solutions separately. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now for above equation, in general, the solution is of the form y equal to cf plus pi. See, actually, in some books, especially in Nirali, the notation is y is equal to yc plus yp. Isn't it? But most of the students are getting confused with these notations, because sometimes the differential equation will be asked in variable x and t, like d2x by dt square plus and so on, isn't it? So here the dependent variable is x and independent variable is t. So in that case, you must have to write the value of x in terms of t, isn't it? So instead of using these notations in general, we can use this notation for the general solution, y equal to cf plus pi, where cf is the function in terms of t or independent variable, and pi is also function in terms of t. Because when we use this as a standard notation, that means we are saying y will be in general dependent variable. That is not in general always. Is this clear? Is the point clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us proceed with the first sub solution, that is complementary function. यहाँ तक किसी को डाउट हो तो पूछ लो प्लीज. Is there any doubt? First step towards the solution we have discussed, that is if it is in small d form, then introduce a capital D operator. The complementary function, the first solution. So to get the first solution, that is complementary function, which is a solution of homogeneous differential equation. So in differential equation, see, don't get confused with the homogeneous differential equation in you have discussed in M2, isn't it? So here the homogeneous differential equation means the right hand side is 0, so that the left hand side will be a homogeneous function of variable. Okay, so it is called a homogeneous differential equation. So whatever your differential equation, you have to consider the right hand side to be 0 there, and it is called a homogeneous differential equation. So its solution is nothing but the complementary function. Now how do we solve this homogeneous differential equation? So for that purpose, to find the solution of phi of d into y is equal to 0, we consider its auxiliary equation. What is auxiliary equation? It is phi of d equal to 0. This is called auxiliary equation. Now if you remember, phi of d kya hota hai? Phi of d is a polynomial in d, and when we equate that polynomial equal to 0, it becomes an equation. We can solve that equation. Is this clear? So here this will be the equation in terms of d. So we have to solve, means we have to find the values of d. I hope solution of equations, we must have discussed the solution of equations, whether it is linear or quadratic or biquadratic or cubic. We know the methods of solution, isn't it? What are the methods? There are several methods like quadratic formula method, or using the perfect square method, or synthetic division method. Am I right? We can solve the equations. So by using those methods, we have to solve this auxiliary equation phi of d equal to 0. We'll get the values of d. Those values are called roots of this equation. Roots, right? Roots. Suppose those roots are m1, m2, and so on, mn in general. Okay, then if you know that if m1 is root, then d minus m1 will be a factor. Do you know this? Do you know this? If a is root, then x minus a will be a factor. So here we are saying m1 is root, then d minus m1 is a factor. m2 is root, then d minus m2 is factor, and so on. So with the help of these factors, I can write this phi of d as a multiplication of all those factors. D minus m1 into d minus m2, actually here it is d minus m1 into d minus m2 into d minus m3, and so on, equal to 0. Is this clear to everyone? For example, let me show you here. See here, suppose if I have the equation d square plus 3d plus 2 equal to 0. So what are the roots of this equation? What are the roots? We know there are several methods to solve this, isn't it?
-2 and -1.
-2 and -1, exactly. d equal to -1 and -2, right? So these are the roots. So what are the factors then? D plus 1 and
Plus 1
d plus 2,
2.
right? D plus 2 are the factors. So I can write this polynomial or this left hand side with the help of these factors. How do I write? D plus 1 into d plus 2 is equal to 0. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it? So that is what I have written here. Multiplication of all those factors into y. In homogeneous, I am substituting in this into y is equal to 0. Okay. So with the help of this roots, you'll get the factors, and with the help of factors, you'll get the formulas of complementary function. Okay. So let me explain on a page separately. See here. As the homogeneous differential equation, we have written phi of d into y in terms of its factor, that is d minus m1, d minus m2, and so on, d minus mn, that is nth root or nth factor, into y is equal to 0, right? Now, with respect to each of these factor, there will be a separate solution. Why? Because suppose again, why there will be a solution, that is again a question. Because when I substitute d equal to m1 into this, then this factor will be 0, isn't it? And that root satisfy the whole homogeneous differential equation. Will it satisfy? Will this satisfy the whole homogeneous differential equation? Hello? Satisfy means what? When I substitute, I should get left hand side is equal to right hand
LHS
side,
equal to RHS.
right? So will it satisfy the equation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. When I substitute d equal to m1 there, then the first, because of first factor, the whole left hand side will be 0, isn't it? That means it satisfies. Okay. So ultimately every root, that is m1 satisfy, m2 satisfy, and so on, mn satisfy the whole differential equation separately. That is why there will be a separate solution associated with each root, each of these root. So first of all, let us find the solution associated with m1. Okay. Suppose if we have a linear differential equation of first order first degree, then how many roots it will have? If we have a differential equation of first order first degree, then how many roots it will have? Here,
One.
okay, one root, because here we have considered the differential equation of nth order, right? Nth order differential equation, isn't it? That is why we are getting n roots, n number of roots, m1, m2, mn. Is this clear? So if I consider the differential equation of first order first degree, then it will have only one root, isn't it? Let us consider m1 is that first root. So how do I write into its factored form? That will be d minus m1 into y is equal to 0. I am considering the homogeneous differential equation. Is this point clear? यहाँ तक clear है सबको कि linear differential equation of first order first degree will be of this form, right? So if I resubstitute the value of d there, then what it will become? D by dx, and when I take this y inside, then dy by dx minus m1y is equal to 0. So this is in standard form of LDE of first order first degree, linear differential equation of first order first degree. And do you know the solution of this? Of course, you have solved the questions in M2 on linear differential equation of first order first degree. What is its solution? Its solution is of this form, right? Y into independent variable, sorry, y into integrating factor is equal to integration of, yes, integration of q into integrating factor plus constant of integration.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? Where this 0 actually The standard form of LD is dy by dx plus p of x into y is equal to q of x, right? So its solution is y into I is equal to integration of q into I plus c, where what is I? क्या होता है I? I is e to the power
PDX.
integration of p of x dx. So the same thing here. So what is the value of p here? P of x is minus m1. It is not just m1, it is minus m1, right? And what is q of x? 0. So what will be integrating factor then? I is e to the power minus m1 into x, no? Is it so?
No, sir.
I think you're not getting this. Okay. So e to the power integration of p of x dx. Substitute value of p. So that is minus e to the power minus m1x dx. So what it will be? E to the power minus m1. Actually, it is not x. M1 into x. So that is integrating factor. So therefore, solution becomes y into e to the power minus m1x. Please correct me if I am wrong. Is equal to integration of q. What is q? Q is 0. 0 into integrating factor, that is e raised to minus m1x plus constant of integration. So this integration will be 0. So that is just c y e to the power minus m1x. So what will be the value of y then? Y is equal to c e to the power m1x. Am I right? When I divide both sides by e to the power m1x minus m1x. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So actually, as this is the solution related to m1, let us call it as a y1. y1. Similarly, we can find the solution related to m2. That will be y2. And will it be of this form? y2 is equal to c e to the power m2x. Is it so? Because with respect to m2, the factor will be d minus m2. Is it? And if we consider the separate differential equation related to m2, then that will be d minus m2 times y is equal to 0. And when we solve using the same techniques, what we'll get? y2 is equal to c e to the power m2x. So in the same manner, if I separate these constants, y1 के लिए c1, y2 के लिए c2, y3 के लिए c3, y3 is c3 e to the power m3x plus and so on, yn के लिए cn e to the power mnx. And you must be knowing that if y1, y2, yn are the solutions, then their linear combination is also a solution. Do you know this? If we have the two sub-solutions, then the linear combination of those two sub-solutions is again a solution. So here, since y1, y2, and so on, yn are solutions, their linear combination is also a solution. So let us consider that linear combination to be simply addition, y1 plus y2 plus and so on, yn, and that is again a solution, y. Okay. And that solution we will call it as a complementary function, yc. So therefore here we get the formula, standard formula, general formula of complementary function, that is cf is equal to sum of all those sub solutions. What are those? c1 e to the power m1x plus c2 e to the power m2x plus and so on, cn e to the power mnx. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So just like in the last example, that is d square plus 3d plus 2 into y is equal to say 0. We got the roots to be d equal to -1 and -2. So I can directly write the solution, that is a complementary function for this. Complementary function is what? Yes, it will be c1 e to the power m1. What is m1 here? m1 is -1. -1 into x plus c2 e to the power -2x. Is this clear?
Yes.
So always remember, if the equation is homogeneous, then complementary function is only the solution. पर्टिकुलर इंटीग्रल उसका सॉल्यूशन नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पर्टिकुलर इंटीग्रल तभी होता है जब राइट हैंड साइड कुछ नॉन जीरो होता है. तो कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री फंक्शन इज द ओनली सॉल्यूशन ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन and therefore we call it as a general solution. Y is equal to c1 e to the power
कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री फंक्शनचा रिपीट करा ना.
हाँ, just I'll repeat. c1 e to the power minus x plus c2 e to the power minus 2x. So that will be the complementary function and hence the complete solution of this equation. Is this clear? So from where I have to repeat from where?
So the CF part, which you explained for the example.
Formula or example?
Yes.
The example.
Check the third line from the top.
Okay, this one.
Yes.
Okay, actually we have calculated the sub solution with respect to each root, right? Like related to m1 we have got c1 e to the power m1x. Related to m2 we have got c2 e to the power m2x, and so on. Related to nth root we will get cn e to the power mnx, right? So as
Yes,
these y1 y2 yn are the sub solutions, their linear combination is also a solution. Linear combination means आपने शायद सुना होगा linear combination क्या होता है कि suppose y1 y2 yn are the variables, then their linear combination I'll have to write like this: alpha y1 plus alpha 1 y1 alpha 2 y2 plus and so on alpha n yn. This is called a linear combination, but I am taking throughout alpha i's to be 1 only. Is this clear? That is my choice because these alpha i's are arbitrary. So since y1 y2 yn are solution, their linear combination is also a solution. That is what only the point. Linear combination means their summation, addition is also a solution. So when I combine them, I'll get the formula for the complementary function. CF is equal to this. When I substitute each y1, y2, yn into this. So the complementary function is c1 e to the power m1x plus c2 e to the power m2x plus and so on cn e to the power mnx. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Someone was asking about
Yes,
this.
sir.
Who was that?
So Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, are we gonna get the PDF of these notes? Or
Sorry.
So do we have to note these down?
Notes.
Yeah. Or we are gonna get the PDF of these notes.
If you want, I can provide. Actually, I'll suggest you just take the important points as a note, just like the formula for the complementary function. Okay, this is all the basics required for the formula. It will not be asked in final examination how you are getting the formula of complementary function, but this is what the logic behind that formula. The only important formula is this one: CF is equal to c1 e to the power m1x plus c2 e to the power m2x plus and so on.
So
cn e to the power mnx.
So the complementary function is the solution of
homogeneous differential equation.
Okay.
Complementary function is the solution of homogeneous differential equation, where the right hand side is 0. Clear? If it is non-zero, if the right hand side is given to be non-zero, for getting the complementary function we have to consider it to be 0. Is this clear? If it is given to be 0 itself in the question paper, then complementary function will only be the solution. Is this point clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. So take down this formula. Complementary function is this, and this is an example: d square plus 3d plus 2. Here we are getting the two roots, -1 and -2, and based on these two roots, the complementary function is this: c1 e to the power minus x plus c2 e to the power minus 2x. So now, depending upon the nature of roots, nature of root means what? What kind of this root is? Do you know the nature of roots? Mainly there are two natures. The root can be imaginary, right? And the root can be real also. So real and the complex are the mainly two roots. two natures. Okay, so let us have the formula for this complementary function based on the nature of root. So first is, let me write here, or actually I have explained here. You can see, therefore the general formula of complementary function is this. Even you can have a screenshots also. Now, based on the nature of complementary function, one more thing I'll have to explain, that these CIs, C1, C2, Cn, or these MIs, M1, M2, Mn, the number of roots is nothing but, or is equal to the order of differential equation. Do you know? Suppose if we have second order differential equation, how many roots it will have? 2 roots, right? So its complementary function involves only 2 arbitrary constants, remember. So this is how we can cross verify our complementary function. Okay, so if we have second order differential equation, we must have the 2 arbitrary constants in its complementary function. If the given differential equation is of third order, then we must have 3 arbitrary constants. Is this clear? So that is what I have explained here. So now here the nature of roots, complementary function according to the nature. So the first nature is if the roots are real and non-repeated, distinct roots. Like the previous one example we have discussed here. Here the roots are real and distinct. So that is why this is the only formula. That original formula will be the formula for the real and distinct. You can write here. Is this clear? The first case?
Yes, sir.
Complementary function is C1 e to the power m1x plus C2 e to the power m2x plus and so on. Cn e to the power mnx. Where mi's are real and non-repeated root. But in case of repeated root, we'll be having the second formula. You just see here. The roots are real and repeated. For example, among these m1, m2, mn, first 2 roots are repeated. Like see here, if m1 repeated twice, and the remaining roots are distinct, then the formula for the complementary function is CF is equal to C1 plus C2x e to the power that repeated root, and the remaining is for non-repeated. So C3 e to the power m3x plus C4 e to the power m4x plus and so on. Is this clear? अगर आपका root 2 बार repeat होता है एक root कोई तो, then you'll have to write like this. It can be written like this also. C1x plus C2, that is one and the same. C1x plus C2 e to the power m1x plus C3 e to the power m3x plus and so on. The rest is for non-repeated root. Non-repeated. For repeated, we have this structure.
So, but if the is sorted, so we don't have C3, C4.
No, I'm not saying degree is 2, order is 2.
No,
this is in general. I'm considering in general the given differential equation is of n order. You can consider any order. If, of course, if order is 2, then C3, C4 will not be there. Only 2 roots, that means only 2 constants. Is this clear? Suppose, for example, if I have the differential equation d square plus 2d plus 1 times y is equal to 0. So its auxiliary equation is d square plus 2d plus 1 is equal to 0. What are the roots here? This is actually the expansion of d plus 1 the whole square, right? So the roots are d equal to minus 1, right?
Yes.
The roots are real and repeated. So how do I write complementary function in this case? The complementary function is CF is equal to C1 plus C2x e to the power minus x. Or you can write it as a C1x plus C2 also. C1x plus C2 e to the power minus x. Order of arbitrary constant is not important. Is this clear?
Sir, can you show the previous page?
Yeah. Just a minute. Okay. Is this?
Thank you, sir.
So all the three columns.
So this is for the twice repeated. If the root repeated thrice, then how do I write? Then I'll have to write three constants. See, remember, since the root repeated twice, two constants must be there in the bracket. If the root repeated thrice, then three constants. So how do I write it? If the root repeated thrice, then the complementary function is, suppose m1 repeated thrice, then I'll have to write c1 plus c2x plus c3x square, e to the power that repeated root, and the rest is for non-repeated root. Is this point clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So combinedly I have explained this formula here. In second case, if m1 repeated twice, m2 repeated thrice, m4 repeated 4 times, and so on, then how do I write the complementary function? So you can see here, since m1 repeated twice, two constants is there in one bracket. Then since m3 repeated thrice, then I'm writing like this. Sorry, m2 repeated thrice, na? So that is why I'm writing like this. Is this point clear?
Yes,
You can ask your doubts. Next nature, if the roots are imaginary, complex and distinct, of course, then so as we know, the complex roots are of this form alpha plus I beta, where alpha is real part and beta is imaginary part, right? Beta is imaginary part. Most of the students are getting confused with real and imaginary part. Let me explain. Suppose if we have z is equal to x plus iy as a complex number, then this x is called the real part. Just a minute. Okay. So x is called the real part of complex number z, and y is called imaginary part of complex number z. Okay. Most of the students are considering I along with beta. That is wrong. Beta is only the imaginary part. Clear? So if the imaginary root or the complex root is of this form alpha plus I beta, then the formula for complementary function is CF is equal to, let me write here, complementary function is e to the power real part times independent variable alpha x into bracket c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. आप देख सकते हो कि यहाँ दो कांस्टेंट आ रहे हैं. So why there are two constants? See, suppose if you are getting 2 plus 3i as a root, then 2 plus 3i is only the root. For that also we are writing the same formula. Two constants are there. So how do we get the two constants here? Yes. So there is a special result in complex. You must be heard about that result, that if alpha plus I beta is root, then its conjugate also will be a root. Am I right? Complex numbers are always come in pair. So for any equation, if you are getting complex number as a root, then its conjugate is also a root. Do you know conjugate? If alpha plus I beta is a complex number, then alpha minus I beta is called its conjugate. तो अगर एक रूट होता है तो उसके साथ ऑटोमेटिकली दूसरा भी आता है. तो टोटली वी हैव टू रूट्स. दैट इज व्हाई द टू कांस्टेंट्स आर देयर इन इट्स complementary function. Is this point clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you, if we have a differential equation or an equation of order 3, then can we get all the roots to be complex? Is it possible to have all the roots to be complex? Why?
No, sir.
Why?
So 2 will be complex and 1 will be
Yes, if we say all the roots to be complex, then for every complex root there must be its conjugate, right?
Yeah.
Conjugate.
Right.
Yes.
So if the third root is complex, then its conjugate will be there. So the totally there will be four root.
4 root.
Is it? So always remember, this is very important thing, that for odd order we should have at least one root to be real. At least one real root will be there for odd order. For even order, all roots can be complex, all roots can be real, or the mixing possibilities are there. Okay. So with the complex roots, this is the formula, that CF is equal to e to the power alpha x into C1 cos beta x plus C2 sin beta x. Is this point clear? यहाँ किसी को डाउट है इसमें? Hello.
No, sir.
No, sir.
If you're thinking about the proof of this formula, then actually M1 is what? Alpha plus I beta, and M2 is alpha minus I beta, right? When I substitute these M1 and M2 into the general formula of complementary function here, into this formula, when I substitute alpha plus I beta here and alpha plus alpha minus I beta here, and with the Euler's formula, if you know Euler's formula, that e to the power I theta क्या होता है? E to the power I theta is yes, what is Euler's formula there? E to the power I theta is cos of theta plus I sin theta. Do you know this? This is Euler's formula. And e to the power minus I theta क्या होता है? It is cos theta minus I sin theta. ठीक है? So with the help of these two formulas into this, because this is e raised to alpha plus I beta, this is e raised to alpha minus I beta. So e raised to alpha plus I beta को मैं कैसे लिखूंगा? E raised to alpha into e raised to I beta by laws of indices, right? And then this can be written as cos beta plus I sin beta, right? So it will be e raised to alpha into cos beta plus I sin beta using the Euler's formula. Is this clear? Similarly, इसके लिए भी आप लिख सकते हो cos beta plus I sin beta. ठीक है, and दोनों को जब combine करेंगे, then by taking e to the power alpha common from these two, you'll be getting this formula. You can prove this. This will be a homework for you to prove this formula, and even the proof of this formula also for the repeated root. This is a homework. You'll have to submit these two homeworks as a class assignment in Google Classroom today only. Okay, the proof of this second formula and the third formula. Now, if the complex roots are repeated, that means if alpha plus I beta repeated twice, then alpha plus I beta and alpha plus I beta. So along with these two, their conjugates also will be there, right? So totally how many roots will be there? 4 roots. Am I right? So 4 roots means 4 constants must be there in the complementary function. So the formula for the complementary function is e to the power alpha x into c1 plus c2x cos beta x plus c3 plus c4x sin beta x. Is this point clear to everyone? Based on the nature of root, we are having 4 formulas of complementary function. Let me recall those 4 formulas again. See here, if M1, M2 and so on, Mn are real and distinct root, that means non-repeated, then what is the formula? Yes, then the complementary function is C1 e to the power M1x plus C2 e to the power M2x plus and so on Cn e to the power Mnx, right? But the second case says if one of the root is repeated, suppose m1 repeated twice, then what is the formula? Complementary function is equal to c1 plus c2x e to the power that repeated root, and the rest is for non-repeated root, that is c3 e to the power m3x plus and so on. If the m1 repeated thrice, then what is the formula? Then the complementary function is c1 plus c2x plus c3x square e to the power m1x plus, and the rest is for non-repeated, like c4 e to the power m4x plus c5 e to the power m5x plus and so on. जितने रूट्स हो गए उतने कांस्टेंट्स इसमें होने चाहिए. Is this point clear to everyone? Everyone, please do reply in chat box. If the roots are complex, distinct, then the formula is complex distinct mean alpha plus I beta and alpha minus I beta are the roots. So complementary function for both of these is e to the power alpha x c1 cos beta x plus c4 sin beta x, c2 sin beta x. Now most of the students are getting confused. If they are getting minus as a root by the calculator, sometimes they are getting this 2 minus 3i as a root. So they are substituting beta is equal to minus 3 here. No, that is wrong. Remember, for both of these root, all the time this will be plus only. Is this clear? Is this point clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
For both of these. And if the complex roots are repeated, like suppose alpha plus I beta repeated thrice, please tell me if alpha plus I beta repeated thrice, then what will be the complementary function? Yes? Someone please, if alpha plus I beta repeated thrice. Yes? Complementary function क्या होगा बताओ? Is equals to any one of you? Yes. What is the formula?
C1 plus C2x.
E to the power alpha x must be there, na?
E to the power alpha x
raised to alpha x into c1x plus c2 into cos beta x plus
c1 plus c2
c1
x
plus
plus
c2x plus c3
x square, because roots are repeated thrice, into
cos beta x
plus
c4 c5x c6x
square into
sin beta x. Good. Sin beta x. Don't repeat these constants, okay? Because totally we should have the constants that is equal to the order of differential equation. Okay. See here, these are the examples. Let us solve one of them, or one by one each. So what will be the what is the first step towards the solution? Capital D form, right? So in case of first one, what will be its capital D form? यही लिखता हूँ मैं. Capital D form is d square minus 5d minus 6 times y is equal to 0. So this is homogeneous, right? Homogeneous differential equation. So its auxiliary equation means independently y हम लिखते हैं, that is d square minus 5d minus 6 is equal to 0. And we solve this auxiliary equation. So what are the roots? D equals to, I think the numbers are numbers are minus 6 and plus 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So the roots are minus 1 and 6, na?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Check. Please check. The roots are
Yes, sir.
-1 and 6. So the roots are, so what kind of root are these?
Real and distinct.
Real.
Real and distinct.
So the complementary function will be, yes, it will be 2 roots means 2 constants. So that is equals to
C1
C1
D1 e
e to
raised
the
to
power
minus x
plus
minus
C2
x
plus
plus
C2 e raised to 6.
e raised to
6x.
6x.
Good. Try this one. Second try करो. बताओ जरा कुछ डाउट है तो. Capital D form is 2d square minus d minus 10 the whole times y is equal to 0. Directly आप ऐसे लिख सकते हो. So its auxiliary equation is 2d square minus d minus 10 is equal to 0. See how you are getting the roots, that is not important in the examination also. You can get the roots in our SPP examinations, calculators are allowed. But if the calculators are not allowed in some examinations, then you should know the manual methods also to get these roots. Isn't it? So what are the manual methods? Quadratic formula method, or by making perfect square, is it, or by splitting the middle term method, or by synthetic division method. There are several methods. Yes. So what are the roots?
5/2 and minus 2.
5/2 and minus
5
2
and
and
minus
minus 2.
4.
5/2 someone is saying. 5 by
and
2.
minus 2.
Minus 2.
5/2 and minus 2. Right. So with these are the real and distinct root. Right. So what is the complementary function then?
C1 e raised
C1
to
e to
5 raised 5/2
5/2 times x plus c2 e to the power
E
minus
raised to
2.
minus 2x.
Now here most of the students are getting confused while writing the order. Order is not important, remember. You can take -2 first and 5/2 the second one. Okay, so don't get confused. That will be same. Someone is writing like this, or someone is writing c1 e to the power minus 2x plus c2 e to the power 5/2x. That is also the correct one. What about this third one? Actually we have exceeded the time also. It's 11:45-48. So take a screenshot of this and do solve these questions and submit. It is not necessary to solve in detail. Okay, you can have your rough work and just submit on Google Classroom.